Hey everybody, this is Christopher Gimmer from Bootstrap.com and welcome to part 10 of our Bootstrap 3 tutorial. Today we're going to be building a contact form. So if you remember in previous video we created our modal within our contact header in the navbar. So what we're going to do is just get rid of this paragraph text and we're actually going to build a contact form instead. So let's dive right into the code. So first thing I'm going to do is just delete this paragraph text, which we're not going to need. And then I'm going to make some room right underneath our modal content class for the contact form. So I'm just going to leave some space there and I'm going to tab everything over here so we maintain our nice structure. Okay, so now that's done, I'm going to create a form class equals to form dash horizontal and set the role to form. Close that off, and then under here, close off the form. Okay, so now we want to build the form inside our modal body class. So first thing we're going to do is div class equals to form dash group. Close that off. Now, form group is basically, I guess it's a row of your contact form. So in the one that we're going to be building, we're going to have name, email, and message. So you're basically going to need a form group for each of those elements. So within here, we're going to go label for equals to contact dash name. And this is basically your ID for that specific element. So you can name this whatever you want. You just need to make sure that you reference it properly later on. So now we're going to go class call sm-2. And if you remember from our previous tutorial on the Bootstrap grid, this basically is indicating that it's going to take two columns within the Bootstrap grid system. And then we're also going to give it a class of control-label. And we're going to name this name. So now if we go to our preview, we click on contact, you see the contact form label as name over here. And the next thing we need to do is actually build out the text box. So underneath here, we're going to go div class equals to call-sm-10 to fill out that grid. Close that off. And then inside here, we're going to go input type equals to text. We're going to give a class of form-control and ID equals contact name. So again, this ID for contact name has to match the label name over here, and that's pretty important. And then finally, we can add a placeholder, which is the kind of grayish text that shows up in the text box before you click on it. And we're going to name the, let's just say first and last name. And close that off. So if we go to our preview, we click on contact. It's all looking like a form now. So we have our name label and then our text area here with the placeholder. So obviously if we click on it and start typing something, the placeholder text disappears. Okay, so now we can actually take the code underneath our modal body. Well, basically anything inside the form group. We'll copy that to create another one. So now we just have to edit some stuff here. So we're going to edit the contact name to contact email. We're going to change the name of the label to email. And we're also going to change the input type to email. And even though it's a text, when people go on your site on a mobile browser, which obviously if you're building a site using Bootstrap, mobile is a key consideration. It'll basically bring up the email keyboard with the @ symbol, so it just makes it a lot easier for people to type in their email when they're on a mobile device. So again, form control class, it doesn't change, and then the ID, we're going to go contact-email. And placeholder text, let's just go example at domain.com. So now we go to our preview and we click contact. Now we have both the name and the email. It's all looking good. Last thing we want to do is the text box. So again, we will copy this form group. We'll change the label to contact dash message, and we'll change this to message. And here we're going to, instead of having an input, it's going to be text area. And then we're going to give it a class of form-control. We could also specify the height using the rows. So I'm just going to give it, let's say 4 rows. Close that off and close off the text area. So we go to our preview and we click contact. Now it's starting to look like a contact form. We have our name, we have our email, and we have our message area. So the only thing missing right now is we actually need a send button. So we only have the close button, which we had already done in the previous tutorial. So I'm going to change the styling on this to a white button and leave that as closed, and then I'm going to add a submit button. So I'm going to change the class on here from Pt.10 primary to default, so that will give it the white color. And then under here I'm going to add button type equals submit. Now here we're only doing front-end design, obviously, so obviously nothing's going to get submitted, but it's still good practice to set up the button properly, because when you actually start programming, whether it's PHP or what have you, you want to make sure that this button's set up properly to do what it's supposed to do. And then we're going to give it the Pt.10 class, and we'll call this send. So when we go to our preview and click on contact, now everything's good to go. We have our name, email, and message. We have our close button, which still closes it. And then we have our send button, which once programmed will send the information. So that's pretty much it on our tutorial for building a contact form. We've covered quite a bit of the Bootstrap basics, so I'm not exactly sure what the next tutorial will be on. So if you have any suggestions, any feedback, just leave a comment below, and hopefully we can help you out with whatever you guys need. Also, make sure to check out our website at bootstrap.com if you are looking for Bootstrap themes. And we also have a blog where we are posting some pretty solid content for anyone using Bootstrap or just web design in general. So make sure to check us out there. So that's it for now. We'll see you in the next video. Make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you later. Thanks.